Young Frankenstein, 1974. 20 weird facts you didn't know. Young Frankenstein, 1974 wasn't just a comedy. It was a cinematic resurrection. Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder revived the golden age of horror with chaos. Genius. An unexpected hunt. In this video, we reveal 20 weird, hilarious, and emotional facts about one of the greatest comedies of all time. Number 1. The title that almost wasn't. Before Young Frankenstein, the film had a much weirder working title. Franken-something. Gene Wilder actually pitched the idea while filming Blazing Saddles. And Mel Brooks loved it, but the studio, not so much. Executives pushed for a title like Son of Frankenstein Returns, fearing audiences wouldn't get the joke. Wilder stood firm. If the film's name wasn't Young Frankenstein, he threatened to walk. And guess what? He won. A monster was born, with just the right amount of comedy in its name. Number 2. The studio said no to black and white. In the age of vibrant Technicolor, Mel Brooks insisted Young Frankenstein had to be in black and white to match the tone and mood of 1930s horror classics. The studio said, "No way. Audiences won't watch it." Brooks refused. He told them the movie would be dead on arrival in color. It became a weeks-long battle until Brooks threatened to take the film to another distributor. They caved, and thanks to that, we got one of the last great black and white studio films in Hollywood history. Number 3. Gene Wilder had one condition. Gene Wilder wasn't just the star. He co-wrote the script with Brooks. But he had one unusual demand. Mel Brooks could not appear on screen. Why? Wilder worried that if Brooks acted in the movie, he'd break the fourth wall and turn the satire into pure parody. Brooks agreed, and it was the only time he directed a comedy without giving himself a cameo. The result, pure character immersion. Number 4. The lab equipment was real. That incredible lab set with bubbling tubes, lightning switches, and giant coils. It wasn't just a homage, it was history. Mel Brooks tracked down Kenneth Strickfaden, the man who built the original lab equipment for the 1931 Frankenstein movie. Many of the actual props had been sitting in storage for over 40 years. Brooks rented them for just a few $100s, giving Young Frankenstein the same gothic authenticity as its predecessor. Number 5. Marty Feldman's hump moved. Marty Feldman, who played Igor. Notice no one mentioned his character's hunched back in the script. So, he came up with a prank. He started switching the hump from one shoulder to the other without telling anyone. Mel Brooks didn't notice until 3 days into filming, when the crew burst out laughing. Instead of fixing it, they kept it in. It became one of the film's weirdest running gags, completely unscripted. Number 6. Gene Wilder couldn't stop laughing. One of the hardest scenes to film. The blind hermit played by Gene Hackman. The physical comedy, burning soup, crashing dishes, scalding hand was pure gold. But it was too funny for Gene Wilder. He kept breaking character, ruining take after take. After nearly a dozen ruined shots, Hackman jokingly shouted, "If you laugh one more time, I'm going to punch you." The final version was stitched together from fragments and still became one of the most memorable comedy scenes of the decade. Number 7. The musical number that almost got cut. Puttin' on the Ritz was never in the original script. Wilder had the idea early, but Mel Brooks hated it. He thought it was too ridiculous, even for this movie. They argued for days. And Brooks finally said, "Fine. Shoot it. If it's bad, I'm cutting it." Once he saw the footage, the awkward tap dancing, the growling monster voice. Brooks laughed so hard he cried. Today, it's one of the most iconic scenes in comedy history. Number 8. A script written by hand, then burned. Gene Wilder wrote most of the first draft by hand, on yellow legal pads, during downtime on other films. Once it was finalized and typed up, he and Brooks burned the handwritten pages in a fireplace. Why? They wanted the final version to feel like the real Frankenstein, rebuilt, refined, and only one copy in existence. Dramatic, definitely, but fitting for a story about monsters and resurrection. Number 9. The horse joke nobody explained. Remember how every time someone said Frau Blücher, horses neighed in terror. It wasn't in the script, and no one ever explains it. Mel Brooks just thought it was hilarious. He even instructed the sound team to add horse screams every single time her name was said. Why? Because in Yiddish, Blücher sounds like fear. It made no sense, and that made it perfect. Number 10. A love letter to horror. Despite the comedy, Young Frankenstein wasn't just parody, it was homage. Mel Brooks made sure everything, from the cinematography to the pacing, mirrored the classic Universal horror films of the 1930s. Even the opening credits were styled like Bride of Frankenstein. Critics expected silly satire, but what they got was a beautifully crafted film with genuine love for the genre. It didn't just spoof the monster, it brought it back to life with care. Number 11. The monster was gentle by design. Peter Boyle's Frankenstein monster wasn't scary. He was sweet, clumsy, and misunderstood. That was intentional. Brooks and Wilder wanted to flip the classic horror trope. A creature feared by the world, but more human than most men. They added subtle touches, like his gentle tone, slow blink, and sad eyes to make the audience feel compassion. In the end, the monster wasn't the punchline. He was the soul of the film. Number 12. Science meets slapstick. The scientific terms tossed around, transference of cerebrum and cerebral matter realignment, sound impressive. Right? Totally fake. Wilder and Brooks made them up on the spot to sound smart. Then they had the monster literally throw a dart into someone's butt. It was the perfect balance. Big words and bigger laughs. Number 13. A hidden Dracula cameo. There's a blink and you'll miss it moment where a shadow crosses the hallway, eerily similar to Nosferatu. Some fans believe it was an uncredited nod to Dracula, or even a crew prank. When asked, Mel Brooks only said, "If you saw it, then maybe it was meant for you." Was it a ghost? A nod? Or just Brooks being cryptic? We may never know. Number 14. The eye gag that went too far. Marty Feldman had a rare condition called Graves' disease, which caused his bulging eyes. He turned that into a comedic superpower, with wild stares and unpredictable reactions. But one gag, involving a close-up with a magnifying lens, was so exaggerated, the audience screamed during a test screening. It was pulled before release. Sometimes, even comedy has a limit. Number 15. Deleted scenes you'll never see. Several scenes were shot and then vanished. One involved a dream sequence with the monster singing in German opera. Another showed Dr. Frankenstein hallucinating a ballroom dance with body parts. Why were they cut? Mel Brooks said, "They were funny, but not this movie's funny." The negatives. Reportedly destroyed. A reminder that what's on screen is only half the story. Number 16. Lighting by lightning. During one exterior shoot, an actual lightning storm hit the set. Instead of calling it off, Brooks yelled, "Keep rolling." They got 3 shots, lit by real lightning. You can spot it in the film's climax, when the monster first rises. It wasn't special effects, it was nature. And it was perfect. Number 17. Madeline Kahn's iconic scream. Madeline Kahn, who played Elizabeth, had one of the best lines in the film. "Taffeta, darling." But her most iconic moment, that operatic, horror movie scream in the bedroom scene. It wasn't scripted. She improvised the whole thing, down to the vibrato. The crew had to pause filming because everyone burst out laughing. Comedy with pitch-perfect lungs. Number 18. The brain switch joke was real science. Okay, not real science. But the name Abby Normal, that gag came from a real psychology book that Gene Wilder owned. There was a case study labeled Abnormal Pattern. Subject AB. Wilder twisted it into Abby Normal, and it became one of the most quoted lines in movie comedy. It was brainy humor, literally. Number 19. Mel Brooks called it his best work. Mel Brooks has made classics, The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, but in interviews, he's always said, "Young Frankenstein was my best film. Not the funniest, not the biggest, but the most beautiful." It was where he took comedy seriously, and it showed. Number 20. A classic born from chaos. This movie had every reason to fail. A weird script, a black and white format in the age of color, studio resistance, and an obsessive co-writer. But somehow, it all came together. Young Frankenstein wasn't just funny, it was revolutionary. It spoofed without mocking. It honored the genre it parodied. And nearly 50 years later, it still lives. It's alive. And it always will be. If you enjoyed diving into the mad genius of Young Frankenstein, hit that subscribe button for more untold stories, weird facts, and timeless movie memories. This was just the beginning. Because in our world, it's alive. And it always will be. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next cinematic secret.